Attention, prisoner 903-8970, you're up for parole.
American Arts Radio presents live from Chisel Multimedia Studios, Comics on Parole in Hollywood South. Here's your host, Dan Glazer.
Welcome to Comics on Parole. My name is Dan Glazer. We have a really wonderful, it's kind of a special show here today. It's a gentleman I hosted for a few weekends ago, and he's been on 100 different television appearances throughout the world, including HBO, Showtime, Comedy Central, A&E, Jay Leno Show. He's the voice of Bullwinkle Moose for Universal Studios. He's soon to be going to film a Prime Video show at the William Shatner Studios. Give it up for Basile.
Hey guys, how are you?
Hey,
how you doing, Dan?
Look good, Basile. We worked hard on this, didn't we? We got you.
Yeah, you got me, and it's so wonderful to have this wonderful technology.
It
really is.
It is amazing.
I think we're gonna shortly go back to 2 soup cans and a piece of string. To be quite honest with you,
it worked better. You just got done on your podcast, by the way. What's the name of your podcast? Where can people find it?
It's called A Pinch of Basile. And you can get it on americamatters.us and to go to the TuneIn app and just look under A Pinch of Basile.
Very good, very good. Now, so I went to host for Basile and a local comic here named Jerry Farber, and immediately when I on stage, I knew who he was. Because you have this thing where you're crying, and I
get emotional.
You did that on Leno, did you not?
I just get very emotional and how do you think I picked up women? Please.
That's right. That's right. Well, listen.
Just once, come home with me, please.
But before we really get started, what was so hilarious at the show was your intro at the show we were at. So I got to play a few seconds of that. So let's go to the video. That is the funniest intro I've ever seen.
Oh, thanks, man. That came by accident. I was playing
How's that?
In Denver, and I didn't have that intro. And I ran in, and I was running late to do this show. And I was out of breath because I ran from the comedy condo that they had at that time and ran to the club, and I needed to calm down because I was panting. I was like, and the guy in the back room was smoking a cigarette, and I was still wearing my black leather jacket, and I just started smoking a cigarette, just kind of calm myself down, and I smoked a cigarette for, again, a couple more times and took another couple drags of it, and I just put the cigarette out. I'm on stage, and I didn't say a word, and the only thing I said was, Jesus, that was so far to get to. And the place went nuts. I'm like, oh, my God, I think I got something.
Right.
And then I added music, and then I did everything from the Peter Gunn theme that you guys just played earlier for your intro bumper music.
Right.
And then from there, did You're Gonna Go My Way, and then with Lenny Kravitz, and then started doing this, and now I come on to Rope from the Foo Fighters, which is a great song to come on to as well.
Right. Oh yeah, yeah. It was very excellent show. And what I like, it's comedy and music. I really like the combination.
Yeah, without the guitars. I don't do guitars. I'm not talented enough to do guitars, but I do love singing. And I was telling you earlier, I have a trained voice, so
Yeah.
it allowed me to go ahead, and it really helped me to do a lot of the voice work that I do.
Uh-huh.
And I was very, very, very fortunate, to be quite honest with you, to be able to do that. So doing, and I couldn't speak English when I was a kid. A lot of people don't know that. They always thought, oh, he was born here. Yes, I was. But I was born, and I can only speak Greek for about 3 to 5 years, almost 5 years.
Wow.
It wasn't until I got to kindergarten. And the great pacifier for all of us kids was the television. So Rocky and Bullwinkle would be on, and I'm watching Bullwinkle as a kid, and I'm answering my mother as Bullwinkle. Going, and Mom goes, all right, that's it. We got to teach him English. This is garbage, So it was actually a pretty interesting life that I had, learning how to speak English, and then going on to doing some of the voice characterizations that I did.
Well, likewise, I never spoke English either. I spoke Greek because English is Greek to me. But
boom, thank you.
Okay. So you're I want to get on the stand-up, but you are a trained singer, opera singer, correct?
I was trained vocally to sing opera. Yes, I was not a professional opera singer, and I don't want people to think that. I love singing. It's part of my repertoire that I do on stage, and it depends on what songs. I could do everything from James Brown. I could do everything from you name it. So I have a good range where I can go back and forth.
But you also sing for Disney.
Yeah, I do. I got a chance to do the Kristen Yamaguchi on Ice special. At that time, Robin was having some issues with Disney, and I sang "Friend Like Me" at the end of that. So it was pretty cool to do that.
Oh wow! And do a Bullwinkle. Do Bullwinkle in English.
Bullwinkle moved here to let you know that you're listening to Dan Glazer. Okay, I can't.
Can you do Rocky?
No, you do. Okay, no, wrong Rocky. I'm sorry.
Okay, listen. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say one of my favorite memories. I was doing a series of Taco Bell commercials. This has got to be about 15 years ago.
Right.
And I was going to meet June Foray for the first time, and she was the actual voice of Rocket J. Squirrel. And June Foray was 4 foot nothing, 70 pounds of nothing, maybe wet. She was so small and so frail.
Really?
She had pipes that was just unbelievable. And I kept screwing up this line. I was like, you get burritos, then you get tacos, then you get... And I kept screwing up this one line over and over. And all of a sudden, this little thing, from the other studio, because we could see each other, was like, "Holy smoke, Bullwinkle, hope you get this effing thing right so we can get the hell out of here." I'm like, oh, it was on. And we started going after each other. It was great. Well, you little squirrel, I'll tell you something, when we went from there. It was a great, great story.
And briefly, before we go to one of your sets, put it in a nutshell, what made you start doing comedy? From the young child you wanted to do it?
No, to be honest with you, I had all my intentions of going, I was going to be a lawyer. I was quick on my feet, and I wanted to really practice law. And I went to, law school in Cleveland, and for about a year, and I said, this is BS. I really don't want to go ahead and do this. And I started going to amateur nights, and that's where I met Steve Harvey and a couple of other cats where we started all together, and Mike Veneman, AJ Jamal, Bertice Berry, Special K, and that was our Cleveland group. And then right after that was like Drew Carey and all those other cats. They came right after, about a year or two after.
Wow.
And so that was our open mic night. And
oh my God.
We used, talk about a fantastic open mic night. I remember selling out the old Hilarities that was in Cuyahoga Falls, which is a suburb of Akron. And it was really cool to actually do, those things and sell out. And we had the Harveyites on one side, the Basilites on another side, the Jamalites, and everyone had their fan following. 350 people at that club, jam-packed, every amateur night. We would sell out better than they would sell out their regular shows.
Oh, my God. And,
And
you're like your buddy Rich Scheidner. He was a lawyer, too. He was going to be a lawyer, too.
I was not a lawyer. Please, I don't want to, misstate anything. They always ask, what was the reason why you left? I said, when you confuse torts for French pastry, you got to get the hell out of the business.
Right. That's right. Well, let's go to his first set. Now, we won't be able to show the whole thing, but let's go to the first set, if you have it there.
But it's cool to be Greek, not so much because of all the success of the movie The Big Fat Greek Wedding, not because of the success of the Olympic Games in 2004 in Athens, not because of every Greek festival you people have been to. It's always been cool to be Greek, and I'll tell you why. Because of our faith. We are Greek Orthodox, and our religion is different than anyone else's in this room. I swear, because everything that we celebrate late. We celebrate everything. We celebrate Easter a week after regular Easter. We're the only people who can make Jesus come back twice in the same freaking year. Celebrate a week after, 2 weeks, sometimes even 5 weeks after, which is great because our candy is so much cheaper. Of course, you always get the broken chocolate bunnies that you bastards never bought. It took me 20 years to realize that chocolate bunnies do have ears. I never got a fresh peep. Remember marshmallow peeps? By the time I got them, I can break windows with a damn thing. My mother screwed up every piece of Americana for granted because you were born here. My mom screwed up. She didn't know. Screwed up things like the tooth fairy. How can you possibly screw up the tooth fairy? I go, Mama, my tooth fell out. What do I do? Don't worry about a thing. I'm going to take care of everything. She takes my tooth, puts it into my pillow. The next morning, I look underneath my pillow. I find my mother's and father's personal check for $10. I'm not an idiot. I know what's going on. I took that check down, so I said, Mom, Dad, the tooth fairy is embezzling money from you guys.
That was funny. That was funny. That was very good.
Thank you.
Let me ask you this. What did your parents think of your Greek comedy, stand-up comedy?
You know what? To be quite honest with you, man, Dan, my parents were actually pretty cool with it.
Yeah.
They knew that, I was kind of a failed athlete because I got hurt. They knew I was kind of devastated about that. And then they turned around and they said, as long as you're happy. And my parents were very, very cool. And I said, okay. And my mom kind of gave me like a backhanded compliment. She goes, honey, listen, you've always been a conniver. You'll make it work. And I didn't know conniver was just a type
right.
of thing. And I'm like, really, a conniver? Okay, that's fine. So, my father and her, both, immigrants, they were very, very cool with that.
Did they come to a lot of your shows? They go to a lot of your shows?
My mom and dad, not really. My mother was handicapped and really couldn't do a lot. And my father kind of was her caretaker, and they moved from New York, where I'm originally from, to the Cleveland area. And to be, even though I say I have a sister, that joke, it's, my sister is really incorporated into my sister-in-law. So I use that all the time, but we're very, very close as a family. I was very, very blessed to have them, and they were just a wealth of entertainment for me. Because they do things and say things that are just so ass backwards. I just sit there and
That's
go,
where you got a lot of your
one
comedy.
day I'm going to be a comedian. I'm going to write this crap out and use it for mature.
Did you grow up on moussaka?
I actually love moussaka. I could have been easily a vegetarian, believe it or not.
Yeah.
I just have a hankering for some steak once in a while, some pork chops and whatnot. So for me, it was always pretty cool to go ahead and have great food. And my father was a chef. So, of course, we had the best foods in the world. And moussaka, do you know what moussaka really is?
Didn't it have hamburger in it?
It had almost like a meat sauce, if you will,
Right.
with thin layers of eggplant, thin layers of potato, and he put it on layers, and then all of a sudden he put this very thick cream sauce on top. It's fantastic. Listen, man, you and I got a party in Atlanta, some great,
We got a lot of Greek restaurants here.
Oh, you do, man. And listen, I can get in. I am the Jerry Seinfeld of the Greek community. I can eat anywhere I want to eat, and we don't have to pay.
And they all know you? Really? In Atlanta,
Yeah,
they all know you?
You know, because of all the things I do, because I have a series of Growing Up Greek in America,
Right.
I have two separate shows. The show
That's
that
right.
you saw Basile Dysfunctionally Yours, and that's my general audience show that I do in Vegas and Atlantic City and comedy clubs throughout the world and theaters throughout the world. And then you have the Growing Up Greek in America series that I do the stand-up partially in Greek and the rest in English. And I tour all over the world with that. I go to Australia for months at a time, throughout Europe, UK. Well, you know, I love the UK because there's a lot of English-speaking Greeks that, and they know the double entendres that are involved and everything. So it's a lot of fun to go ahead and do that.
And you recorded and sold over 1 million copies of it, right?
Yeah, we have. We sold over, but that includes all of our specials that we've done. Growing Up Greek in America 1, 2, 3. Excuse me, the various CDs that we've had.
Right.
In the past as well. So for me, that was always a lot of fun to go ahead and do. And we've been very, very blessed. And I don't want to retire yet. There's so much more that I want to do.
Oh, you're young. You're not ready
Yeah,
to
I'm
retire.
young. I'm beautiful. Even though I can't pick up a date even in prison, I'm fine.
Okay, so let's look at some photos, and then we'll go back to another video.
Okay.
So pop up a photo there, Matt. It's going to be over your face, I think, Basil. Go ahead. And you can explain to us what it is.
Sure. Let me see it.
See, okay. So that's
I can't-
Paul Reiser. Okay, so we got Paul Reiser, Helen Hunt. And tell us about this. Were you on their TV show?
No, actually, what it was, I was doing the NAPI convention in Vegas. And Paul, looked at me and goes, "Hey, man, you were really funny." I said, "Thank." Coming from Reiser was pretty cool.
Yeah, really.
So it was pretty cool. And they were doing their show. This is years ago, and I was like really excited about it, that he liked my stand up because you made me laugh on a couple of stuff. I said, "You didn't see it coming? Good, that's good." So I think it was called All About You. Was the name of the TV show. Right. So I got a chance, and then I went by their booth where they were pushing their show and wound up going ahead and taking a picture.
Well, you know what's funny? You told me Jeff Justice here in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And he was just telling me Paul Reiser did not try out. Remember the movie Diner? One of my favorite movies.
Oh, it was great.
Diner? Oh, my God. So he didn't try out for that movie. He went along with a friend who was trying out for the movie. And Paul Reiser was there in the lobby or green room just telling jokes. And the director heard him. He got that. Great movie. One of the best.
But you know what I love about it? Because my father jumped ship in Baltimore, and the movie takes place in Baltimore. Right. And my dad jumped ship Christmas Eve, 1955, during a snow blizzard. And it's just kind of cool to actually see, because every diner is owned by a Greek. So I'm sure it was a Greek diner someplace, and I'm surprised
it's still
that my
there.
dad wasn't working. Yeah, it probably is still there.
It's a hair school or something.
Is
cutting
it really?
school. Yeah.
Because I love that jet age look type of a diner, because that's what a true diner really is. Yeah. And that was such a great movie too.
Oh, phenomenal! And then Cadillac Man was the loose sequel to Diner.
Cadillac Man was hysterical. I mean, Danny DeVito did such a great job with that in the siding business. Come on. Well,
it was what he said. The director said it was what happened at the other end of the diner, is what it was about. So let's go to let's go a few more pictures. Go to the next picture.
Sure. I can't see any of these
do you see this one? Marilyn Monroe. You have your hand down, Marilyn Monroe. So explain this picture.
Do I have to?
You don't have to if you don't want to. Are those two great comedians there in there?
Actually, Paul Bond is one of them, and the other one is, oh my God, I'm having a brain fart. But it's he's on XM all the time. Why am I having a?
He looks familiar to me.
Yeah, you'll know him, and as soon as you'll look at him, but he's doing very, very well for himself, and funny cat. And he's a big star now, and he opened for me. He was the MC.
He looks really familiar. That face looks really familiar. I just
Oh my God! I'll think of his name in a second.
Go to the next one. Oh, there's your buddy. There's go ahead, explain this to us. Steve Harvey. You can't see it. Steve Harvey.
See it. Is it the three heads?
Yes, it's a three heads.
Three heads is Steve Harvey, Mike Veneman, the late Mike Veneman, and myself, and we were doing the first Showtime Comedy Club Network filming in Cleveland at Hilarities.
Uh-huh.
And it was Steve and I were on that show along with Mike, and they took Steve's Steve's segment and my segment and used it. And actually, it was actually a lot of fun to go ahead and do that. And we became, I don't want to say overnight successes, but it was because I did all the cartoon voices. Oh, I see a little bit of it, but it's okay.
And you two are good buddies too, right?
Yeah, we were very, very close in the beginning, and then I think Steve has just gone on to bigger and better things.
Right. Okay, go to the next one. Okay. Oh, okay. This is you're filming with the gentleman from Sopranos.
Oh, is that Imperioli?
Yeah,
Michael Imperioli.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is that? Explain what that is.
Well, right now I don't know if I can touch the screen. I can't touch the screen. You got to push it over just a touch if you can.
Pull to his left.
To my right.
To his right. Can you, Matt? There you go.
It's all right. You're doing the best you can. It's all right. And I have a company called Spice Rack Entertainment. And we were hired to go ahead and put together a special filming with Michael Imperioli and myself, along with this film that we did. And I directed it, produced it, and put it all together. And my company, again, Spice Rack Entertainment, is the one who did this. So I was directing him, telling him how to go about doing stuff. He's a very, very talented actor.
Oh, yeah,
he truly is. And it was great working with him.
Did it get released? This was a.
It was for a private. It was for
private. And he was in Goodfellas, of course, too.
Oh yeah.
Let's go to one more picture, then go to another set. What's the next one? Oh, there he is. There he is.
I can't tell you what.
Oh, I'm sorry. I keep doing that. Mike Imperioli and a guy kind of bald with a little beard.
That's Paul Bond. Very, very, very funny cat. Partner, one of my writing partners who has done very good work with me, and wherever I go, he goes, because he's you got to catch the people who are really. Magic in a bottle, if you will, and you keep those people around you, because he's that funny. He's a funny cat.
Right. So now we're going to take it. I don't know which video this is, but it's one of the first three you sent me yesterday or today. So let's go to the second video.
But it's cool to be Greek, not so much because of all the success of the movie The Big Fat Greek Wedding, not because of the success of the Olympic Games in 2004 in Athens, not because of every Greek festival you people. So unbelievable, man. This has been such a great time. I cannot believe spring break is right around the corner. Do we have any college people in here? College people? Over there? What school you go to, sweetheart?
Concordia and Moorhead.
Concordia, Moorhead. That's a tough school to get into. It is, because you got to make a left off that exit. Do I have to explain this shit to you folks? Concordia, home of the clobbers, a cobber, a cob. You make up your own jokes, okay? I wish I could have gone to school at Concordia. I'm stupid as shit. And I know what you're saying, Basile, you damn right. You know what kept me back? High school math. Remember those word problems? How many of you hated word problems? Let me hear ya! I called up every travel agent I knew. Yeah, if a train leaves New York, no, I'm not staying over a Saturday night. Why do you ask? Well, it doesn't say it on the damn problem. I'll wait. Someone got lost going to Concordia. The cobbers, for God's sake.
Okay, I remember you doing the on TV. Tell us where that developed from.
I actually, because I love people would get excited and they start barking and doing that. So, And especially for the military folks that's out there. Every time I, would wind up doing any type of military establishment, they all jump up. Alert! 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 What the hell are you all barking at me for God's sakes? So to me, it was always fun that I used to love, and people evidently know what the hell I'm talking about because they're laughing about it as well.
Now, I know you can't talk about it yet. You are going to be working on a series for Prime Video, produced by William Shatner Studios, correct?
Yeah, well, that's one of and Spice Rack Entertainment.
Okay, and you met Bill William Shatner.
Yeah.
And
actually, he's cool guy.
Did he talk like the captain on the ship?
No, he did not. And I'm sure that every one here, I kept. And the funny thing is, man, I always I tell people, I said, the worst gig in the world would have had to have been that one guy that you never saw before go down on a landing party on a certain planet, because the bastard was going to die.
Right. Yeah.
And if Scotty was there, the doctor was there, all the important people were there, not a problem. But if that one guy that you never saw before goes down, he's dying. Someone's going to get killed in this. That's all there is to it.
I bet that was a thrill to meet him, and he must have really.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Very, very cool.
There was something else I wanted. You are quite the good impressionist. Do your Gilbert Gottfried?
I don't do Gilbert.
Yes, you do. You did it for me today. Okay, if you don't want to do it, you don't have to.
No, it was all right, because Gilbert was one of those esoteric type of comedians that would make me laugh. It was so out of, and I remember I opened.
Come back.
And because he would literally say the most bizarre stuff in the world. And he would go, and and I'm in the back of the room. I just finished doing my set, and I'll never forget. He goes, "There I am, driving in the middle of the Mojave Desert, actually minding my own business." Now that line alone, minding my own business as I'm driving. Then from nowhere came a spaceship, and the spaceship lands in front of my car. My car comes to a complete stop. All of a sudden, my windows roll down, and a little spaceman comes from the little ship and walks out and comes up to my car and goes, Ben Gazzara was a great actor. Why couldn't he get a sitcom? And to me, I peed my pants laughing. I thought that was the funniest thing in the world.
Did the audience crack up?
Yeah, probably about half of them. The other half were going, "What the hell was that all about?" But it was to me, it didn't matter because it was like he was entertaining me. Very, very, very funny cat. On a third level, you have your joke, you got your punchline, then you got the second punchline. He would do the third punchline that was right there, and he would just go for the third punchline.
We got a picture of him with. Pop the next picture up. Can you get the next? There is a. Let's get to that picture. That's not it. Let's go. There's a picture.
I can't tell anything, man. Unfortunately.
That's funny. Oh, that's okay. But we do have a picture with him. Is that it? It's probably one of the last ones, Matt.
That's a picture of me, Chip the Cheese Man. Oh God, I forgot Chip's last name, and Bruno Sharippa, who's right up front, and Brett Leak, very, very funny cat that has muscular dystrophy and continues on and is very, very funny gentleman.
Go to the next one. So you can see it on that side. Go to the next one.
That's the Steve Harvey picture with me, Steve Harvey, and AJ Jamal doing, believe it or not, our first professional gig on New Year's Eve.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was actually, that was the fun times back then when we all had dreams.
How old were you there in that picture, in that tuxedo?
Oh, God, I was probably about 25?
20, oh, wow.
25, 24.
And there you are with Steve. Tell us what this picture, this looks just like a first cousin of mine, not the body, but the face. What was this about?
I got a chance to look at an old Playgirl magazine and about a couple of years beforehand. And I remember going ahead and trying, so what am I going to do? And it was the Burt Reynolds centerfold.
Right.
And remember, I'm an ex-ball player, right? So I still had a halfway decent body. And so I was like, all right. And, it was kind of funny because I don't think I've changed all that much. I've been very, very blessed. A lot more flabby, that's for damn sure. But I actually wound up, and I was doing a photo shoot with my photographer. And he had this blanket. So let me roll myself up in this blanket. Let me put my toes up. I said, take a picture and let me know what you think. And we took a few pictures, and it was great. As a matter of fact, the way I write my name, Basile, on that image right there, I think it's the same one. So the way I write my name, that's the way I really write real quick, you know, when I print. And I wound up, and I was with, when I had that, he goes, man, that's hysterical, man. I got to look. And that was my first headshot that I used. And I did, there was the centerfold of comedy. And I didn't think anything of it. Really, to be quite honest with you, I thought I was going to do comedy probably for about a couple of years and then leave and then, you know, go ahead and do something else. Right. And I got to be honest with you, I had no clue that my career would be as rich as it is. And it's been fantastic.
Let's go to one. How'd your parents like that picture? Did they see it?
You know, my mom and dad, you know, the funny thing is I'm probably standing as erect as possible. I'm probably about 6'2", and I'm tall. And a lot of people don't realize because I'm a little bit slouched over and stuff like that. But if I stand, and my father was only 5'3", and my mother was only 5'5". Right. So my father was always proud of me, you know, when I wrestled and I played ball, you know, that I had a pretty decent body back then.
Wrong baby home.
They very well may have.
What's the next photo? Any more? Is that it? No, that's the dad. That's you. That was the photo we're going to put up if you did not get on the video part.
Oh, is that the way where I got my face on my hands?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's I refer to that as the ho-hum picture. Very, very funny picture because I have different shots for different things. I have stuff for my general audience show, stuff that I have for my, you know, my Greek show. Yeah. So that's the one I'm a little bit indifferent. I put it here or I put it there. It can go either way.
So let's show, this is the third one you really want to show. Let's show a bit of the third video.
Yaya in the front passenger seat, mom driving, you're in the back seat. 75 miles an hour, top speed. And for no reason, my mom slams on the brakes. Because Yaya saw Corta. Oh, yes, there's Yaya picking up her dress. Her calzas are knotted up around her knee. Putting Corta, she's bending over, mooning all the traffic. People are going by, just sitting there. And you know, ultimately, one of your friends will see you. And the next morning at school, hey, Basile, was you and your mama and grandma picking weeds off the side of the highway? Oh, no, that's another Greek family. You know how we all look alike.
Very good. Very, very good.
That's part of the Growing Up Greek in America comedy series.
Right.
You know, it was kind of funny. To be honest with you, Dan, you know, when I, you know, did these shows, it wasn't all about the immediate success of going ahead and being on a situation comedy or being a movie star or whatever. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think everyone wants that. So do I. But it was also an enrichment type thing where I liked enriching the people's memories of the good times we had growing up in my ethnic background. My ethnicity is very important to me, as is my faith. So I'm very, very close to what I do. And I entertain Greeks all around the world. I mean, to be quite honest with you, like I tell people, we gave the world a cornerstone of our society. Right. We gave the world art, philosophy, democracy, everything from architecture all the way down to zoology. And what are we known for now? Yogurt. What the hell happened? Something, you know, really? We've given you everything, and now someone left the milk out for 3 days. Hey, yogurt. There you go. You know.
What I don't understand is that diners, how in the world do they have 100 different menu items? How do they do it? It's amazing.
Magic. It's just simply magic. It's almost like Moses coming out with the 10 Commandments. They come up with these two huge welcome to the diner. And we have everything, you know. And I used to laugh because my dad had the same type of a diner, you know, big surprise. And my dad would just simply, you know, lose his mind. He's like, he's laughing and goes, you know, I don't expect you to be part of this. And I said, I don't want to own a diner. I don't want anything to do. But for punishment, Dan, to the day my dad passed away, I never got hit or beat. Now, for punishment, however, my dad would take me to the restaurant at 13 years of age and make me peel 500 pounds of potatoes. There were 10 sacks of 50-pound sacks of potatoes. Peel them and then cut them into, and then I put them through the French fryer where we made French fries, our own original French fries. Do you know what that's like?
What did you do to deserve that?
Oh, you don't want to know. You don't want. I was not the angel that you see before you now.
Very good. Well, listen, this has been wonderful. But before we end it, where will you be performing at Brad Garrett's club? You said, and where else?
No, I'm gonna be not at Brad's. I'm gonna be at the Tropicana in June. Over at the Laugh Factory. I'll be at the Tropicana in June, and then I'll also go ahead and be, of course, at the wonderful Silver Legacy Casino in Reno, Nevada. But, you know, if people want a clear picture of where I perform at and where I'm at, if you would, man, if you don't mind, go to my website. That's basilelive.com. That's BASILE.com. basilelive.com. And if you want to check out our social network, it's real easy, folks. Basile Fans. BASILEFANS. That's for Twitter, for Facebook, for Instagram. Like me, join me, enjoy the fun. And you know what? I love sharing because we have our own podcast. We all do all that type of stuff. But, you know, it's been a pleasure being on your show. And, you know, it's been great, man. You know,
and it was an honor hosting for you. Go ahead.
No, are you kidding, man? It was great. We'll do it again. Trust me. We're trying to do a Greek concert in Atlanta.
Oh, wow.
And I might just have you open.
Oh, thank you. I would enjoy that. That'd be great.
That'd be great. Absolutely.
I'll brush up on my Greek and my Hebrew and my Italian.
Everything. Greek, Hebrew. Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah,
okay.
Huge. Absolutely.
Okay.
We'll have Greek-style matzah with feta cheese. Absolutely.
That's right. That's right. Basile, call me when you need me, and thank you so much for tuning in to coming in on Comic on Parole.
Not a problem, man. Thank you so much.
Thank
I love you guys. I'll try to hear it.
Okay, take care. And tune in next week when we don't know who will be on, or next month, but they will be here.